So, this video is about popular books that I haven't read and if I don't read it by the end of this year, I would like to read next year. I would like to read Cricket Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. The only reason I haven't read it yet is because I don't own a copy. But I mean, obviously I can like get it through my library. But I hadn't read Ruin Rising, and I know technically you don't need to read this when you read Ruin Rising, but it did, when I was starting to read it, it did mention something about the army, and I was like, and I immediately stopped, and I'm like, you know, in case it does say anything, I'm not gonna continue with this, and I'm going to somehow get my hands on Ruin Rising and finally read it. So yeah, Ruin Rising, then this. Next up is Lady Midnight. Okay, so this year I did read the Shadowhunters Academy Chronicle short stories all combined together, and I was about to read Ghosts of the Shadow Market, but I didn't because I mean I still need to make sure, because from what I think I've heard is that while you can read everything of the every short stories but one, because it takes place before the events of Lady Midnight, I think, but that one takes place sometimes before or after the Lady Midnight trilogy. So I'm hoping to read this and then we'll read Ghosts of the Shadow Market partially and then get to this. So yeah. I have read The Fallen Kingdoms, this one, but it's been so long and I continuously bought the rest of the series and even the spin-off, even though sadly the third book, which I think is supposed to be the last book, won't be coming out anytime soon. The author's putting a pause on it because there wasn't as much hype, I guess, for the spin-off. So I'm wanting to reread Fallen Kingdoms and then finally read the rest of the series. So next is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Have not read this, obviously, but I know like the basic plot. No, the guy's not blue, the girl's blue. Library guy, always wanted to go to this lost city, and a blue girl comes around that's from that lost city. They call the city a weep, I think, because the city's name has been lost. And the blue girl comes to him, and I think she brings him to the city, or they try to find the city, I don't know. And I read like Daughter Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and I really liked it. But speaking about Daughter Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight. As I said, I only read Daughter Smoke and Bone, loved it. I'm gonna need to reread it though, because it's been so long since I read it. And then get to it, this one. I do not own the first copy, so I'm gonna have to buy it, which their new covers, nice. I think I'm gonna get the UK ones because I think I prefer the UK ones more, I think. I mean, honestly, the US looks good as well, but US looks more like trippy looking, like on acid. I wouldn't know. Next would be City of Brass by S.A. You know this book. I'm not gonna butcher the last name at all. Obviously, I bought it when it first came out. I just never got around to reading it, but I've heard amazing glowing things about it. And I mean, honestly, I would love to read it because my own novel takes place in a desert setting. Pretty sure that should be desert setting, because I have a whole shelf meant for like desert setting books that will help me with inspiration on world creating. So yeah, excited to read this. Next is Children of Blood and Bone. Haven't read yet. Bought it when it came out. Just never got around to reading it. It's pretty back. I mean, not back. Pretty naked. I heard it was like. Okay, I'm just gonna have to say it. I know it can be triggering to some people, but I hear it's like African American Harry Potter. like, I think there's a school of magic, I'm pretty sure. Or, I mean, magic is banned, I think. But, I don't know, people were saying it reminded them of Harry Potter for some reason. So yeah, Child of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. Next up, another fantasy, A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmer. All I know about it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but I think it's darker and maybe the female character is more independent, or she's not like Belle, who just like sits in the castle and I don't know. Everyone raves about it, so I would like to read this sometime next year. Surprise, surprise, another fantasy. One Dark Throne by Kendar Blake. I've read the first book. Haven't read the rest of the series, obviously, because I'm holding up the second book. I do remember enjoying the first book, but I wasn't hopping on the hype train. I thought it was alright, it was a decent fantasy, I mean, sounded interesting. And the fact that, you know, the plot twist at the end, I mean, sort of seeing that coming because of, you know, the fact that she couldn't handle it and the other one couldn't summon it. Yeah, so I am interested in continuing with it still, but the hype for the series have like significantly decreased. I don't really see as many people talking about it. I mean, I've seen it in plenty of Bookstagram posts, but not as much as it used to, so yeah. Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I obviously read the first book, so I'm excited to read the second one. It is signed. I got it, where did I get it from? It was supposed to be personally signed, but with COVID, they had to do book plates. So I'm just holding on to it. Wondering if I should like actually put it on or if I should wait in case I don't know one day I meet them. Next up, it's not a fantasy, it's an alternate history where instead of Count Vlad is a female. I'm actually currently in the middle somewhere. Maybe I'm farther than, oh. Okay, more than in the middle. I'm on chapter 35. But I would like to finish it next year. Maybe, I don't know. I may finish it this year. If I finish it this year, then this won't be in the clip. Lastly, as far as I'm aware of, The Bone Crier's Moon. It's not as hyped and popular as pretty much everything else I've shown, but it's popular enough that I'm adding it into here. By Catherine Purdy. Stunning book. So, yeah. Got a book plate for this one as well. I never put it on. So I am excited to read this as well. I'm pretty sure that's all I own that are really hyped up and popular on my shelves, because pretty much all of this year I did not buy. Wait, well, I think the only new release I bought this year was, it's over here, Kingdom of the Wicked, but I plan on reading it this month, so that's why I'm not adding it to this list. So yeah, that's, as far as I'm aware of, that's all the books that are extremely hyped up that I will be reading next year, or wanting to read next year. That's not my like 2021 TBR. This is not my 2020 TBR. This is just what I hope. If I can get around to it, I will be making a 2021 TBR for next year, sometimes the ending of this year. So in case that, you know, if I did pick a book and I ended up rating it, then yeah, anyway. So yeah, comment, subscribe, notification, I forgot that's a thing. Yeah, links down below. Hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is.